night sky was stained a hellish orange. As Eleanor's SUV skidded to a halt at the edge of the estate, the heat from the manor house hit us like a physical blow. The Grand Mansion, a symbol of the town's corrupt elite and the site of my invisible chains, was being devoured by flames. "Stay in the car, Claire! I'm calling the backup!" Eleanor shouted over the roar of the fire. But I wasn't listening. My eyes were fixed on the garden house, a small stone structure at the far end of the property. It was the only part of the estate the fire hadn't reached yet. I shoved the door open and ran. My lungs burned with the thick, oily smoke, but I didn't stop. "Claire, get back here." I ignored her. I reached the garden house and threw the door open. Inside, it was dark and smelled of damp earth. I fell to my knees, frantically clawing at the wooden floorboards near the potting bench, just as Vincent had described. My fingernails bled as I pried up a loose plank. There, wrapped in a moldy canvas bag, was the ledger. I clutched it to my chest, a sob escaping my throat. My father's life, his truth, was in my hands. I knew you'd come for it. The voice was like a serrated blade across my skin. I stiffened. Marcus stood in the doorway. He looked like a nightmare birthed from the flames. His expensive tuxedo was scorched, his face smudged with soot, and his eyes, the eyes that had once looked at me with heartache, were now glowing with a terrifying hollow light. He was holding a blood-stained tire iron. "You always were so predictable, Claire," he whispered, stepping into the room. "Just like your father. Too much integrity for your own good. It's what killed him, you know? He couldn't just take the money and look the other way. You murdered him," I rasped, standing up and backing away until I hit the cold stone wall. "He raised you, Marcus. He loved you like a son. He looked down on me," Marcus roared, the sudden volume making me flinch. "He saw what I was. He tried to stop me from taking what I deserved. And you were supposed to be his replacement. My perfect, grateful little wife. I went to so much trouble to break you so I could be the one to pick up the pieces." He laughed, a dry, rattling sound. "And all for Lily, that little bitch. She played us both, Claire. She's carrying Ryan's child, and she tried to pin that bastard on me to secure my fortune. You chose her, Marcus." I spat. "You ruined my life for a woman who never loved you. You're not a genius. You're a pathetic, lonely old man who had to kidnap his own wife because no one would stay with you willingly." Marcus's face contorted in rage. He lunged at me, the tire iron swinging. I dove to the side, the metal smashing into the stone wall where my head had been seconds before. "I'll kill you," he hissed, spittle flying from his lips. "I'll kill you and burn that book, and I'll tell the world you died in the fire trying to save your beloved husband. I'll be the grieving widower again. Everyone will pity me." He stepped toward me again, but a shadow blocked the doorway. "Not this time, Marcus." It was Ryan. He was pale, his clothes disheveled, but he was holding his phone up, the record light blinking a steady, vengeful red. "Ryan?" Marcus froze. "I followed you," Ryan said, his voice trembling with a mix of fury and disgust. "I heard everything. The kidnapping, the murder, the baby. It's all on the cloud, Marcus. Every sick word." Marcus's eyes darted between us. He was a trapped predator. He looked at the tire iron, then at Ryan, then back at me. "You think a recording will stop me?" Marcus snarled. "I own this town." Suddenly the night air was shattered by a different sound. The high-pitched wail of federal sirens. Not the local police that Marcus had in his pocket, but the heavy hitters Eleanor had called. Dozens of searchlights cut through the smoke, illuminating the garden house. "Drop the weapon, Marcus. Put your hands in the air." Marcus looked at the lights, then back at me. He realized the game was over. The Empire was ash, and his secrets were screaming at the world. In a final, desperate act of malice, he didn't drop the iron. He pulled a lighter from his pocket and flicked it, tossing it into the corner of the garden house where bags of dry peat moss and fertilizer sat. Whoosh! The room ignited instantly. "If I go to hell, Claire, you're coming with me."